What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about SoFi. Give you a quick overview of some of the data points, what really moved it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So SoFi did go down 1.34%, which in reality wasn't all that bad. A lot of growth stocks did get hit a lot worse than that. So all in all, not all that bad, like I said, but 1525 the low, 1584 the high, and kind of low volume. So 38.09 million shares being traded, 58.7 is the average. So that wasn't necessarily just with SoFi, that was kind of across the board. So I'm going to talk on my potential reasons why I think that was a little bit lower. No actual news associated to SoFi today though, no SEC filings, so it was kind of just piggybacking off of the broader market, which is digesting a couple different things. So the whole tariff scenario, and as well the minutes, FOMC minutes that just came out. I was kind of laughing to myself because if you think about it, they were somewhat optimistic. So they said that the inflation is heading towards their target of 2% and that they do plan on cutting rates just gradually. And what does the market do? The market takes gradually and says, hey, you know what? The next Fed meeting is December the 18th. It's probably going to be then, right? Like, that's just, it's comical how that works out, because yesterday there was a 52.3% likelihood, now 63.2. So it's just like speaking to a kid. Like, it's just, you say 5 minutes and they immediately want it done like that minute. So kind of comical about that, but overall pretty optimistic. And then for the January 29th, 2025 meeting, you see a very small likelihood of another 25 basis point cut, only 12.8%, but all in all, pretty good stuff. Surprisingly though, shorts did return 4.61 million shares, and based on this teal line right here, you see shorts did return a significant amount first thing. So they were the culprits on why it actually had a nice boost higher. Why they returned, anyone's guess. I'm not really sure. Maybe they finally, today was the day that they wanted to kind of close out their positions and stuff like that. But in general, 13.51% of the free float is being shorted. It works out to be 143.9 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow minimum is back to normal. So it's been, I think it was like 4 days or something like that, where cost to borrow minimum was negative. So it's good to see that broker finally giving up. As a grand total though, still a lot of money is in SoFi through shorts. Or I think I said that backwards, but you guys get what I'm saying. So $2.33 billion is still in SoFi. So kind of crazy stuff in the grand scheme of things. Moving over to options, 22 million in calls, 5.66 million in puts. So based on everything, 41% of all the options being done today were bearish. And just generally looking at the chart right over here, you can kind of just see the dollar value is very low. And so 27 million breaking the trend from the last several days. Even the put slash calls, it is 0.42. So it is kind of bumping up. And what that does allude to is that there's more bearishness in SoFi, and that's kind of resemblant as well based on the secondary market. A lot of the big transactions that did occur, there's more and more selling, and that's kind of as well what happened yesterday. So I think just the market is seeing just everything as very high, and of course whenever you get stocks that are rather overbought, you get some fear, you're going to have a lot of volatility. So I think in reality, both data points, so a lot of this and this right here does show that some people are anticipating more of a pullback potentially. These are all the transactions that did occur through call options that were purchased today. So there's a consensus for it to be roughly around that $17 range. So the last several trading days, there was a lot of optimism for it to be above like roughly $18. That seems to have gone away. So now optimism for it to be above 17. So still, all in all, SoFi has done a lot over the last 1 month. So over the last 1 month, up 39.42%. So you're going to have some consolidation. As I've stated, I think a lot of people have had their fingers over the trigger, like ready to sell. Again, not just with SoFi, across the board, because a lot of stocks have gone up. They want to take profits and whatever else. So I think in general, just optimism is kind of going down for that. And then the bears are anticipating for it to be sub $14. So kind of on a strong pivot. So I'm going to go over some technicals and stuff like that. But right now with it at $15.49, trading between this R1 and the pivot. So $15 is going to be a strong support. I don't anticipate that to be touched. Tomorrow we do have PCE and also GDP. Even worst case scenario, I don't see 15 being touched, but what do I know, right? Today I did sell $15 puts. So again, if you don't know options, that does mean that if it goes below 15 by this Friday, then I'm buying some shares at 15. If it stays above that, then I get to keep my premium. So this is why I like to do that. Always research options though, do your own due diligence and all the other fun jazz. But flip side, $15.80 is going to be that next strong target / resistance. And it kind of did bounce off of that general area today. So I think it's just a lot of weakness within the technicals, broader market. Even looking on the actual chart, at the ALMA, 5100 200-day moving average, super trend, stochastic RSI, and MACD. So MACD is still showing relatively bullish. Right now it is above all the key pivotal moving averages. It is starting to flirt a little bit with that ALMA. So that is at 1533. So right now it did close above it, but as you can kind of see right here, it is starting to kind of just touch it. So once again, it could have some consolidation, and it still would be fairly healthy for the bigger picture for SoFi. Realistically, I still see more upside, potentially $18, $19. Not next week, not just overnight, but gradually once it does get there. But I think you do need some consolidation for it to kind of be achieved. Looking at the 1 month, this is where you're starting to see this breakdown and this weakness. So kind of right here. So on the 1 month chart, that's where you kind of see that. But all in all, pretty good stuff. No new analyst ratings, nothing along those lines. So these are all the latest ratings that have come out. And actually, my apologies. I swear I just looked at this like 20 minutes ago and there was no change, but conveniently one just popped up. So $19 buy rating, Jeffries, John, who has a 61% success rating. So that is very, very positive, and it just popped up. So yeah, pretty good stuff for that. That's kind of caught me off guard. But yeah, generally speaking, I think just a lot of weakness in the broader market, but similar to John, I actually concur. So $18, $19 is very, very realistic given SoFi's performance operationally and just the broader market. So let me know your thoughts on SoFi. Have you been buying? Have you been selling? And just generally, have you been dabbling with options? I know a lot of people got in and started to do more and more options, but I think just given everything, I think some people maybe lost out. A lot of people were doing covered calls just to collect some premiums, but of course, with the stock going higher, covered calls isn't the way to go. Typically buying calls or selling puts is kind of the best thing to do. So like I said, I will say it almost every single video, research options. It can be very profitable whether you're both bullish or bearish. So definitely research all that. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. One final thing I wanted to share with you though, I did launch a Patreon where I'm giving buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. I've been having some pretty good wins there, so pop over there, take a look, and let me know your thoughts. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.